Okay, so Act 4, Scene 1, you should have just concluded reading Act 3, Scene 7. Remember, Edgar is the legitimate son of Gloucester, but remember, Earl of Gloucester is now Edmund because the title of Earl has been handed off to Edmund. Edgar begins the scene. He is in disguise, and he has been met with the old man leading Gloucester, who is blinded. In this scene, we experience what's called dramatic irony. The audience is watching a play and understands what's going on, while the characters are unaware of what's happening. So I'm not going to tell you what dramatic irony we are experiencing. I'm just going to give you the definition because it's going to be part of your assignment today. What dramatic irony do we, as the audience, understand that some of the characters are unaware of? I want you to think about it. If the audience is watching a play and understands what's going on in the situation, the characters are unaware what's happening. So just think about that definition. Edgar, who is in disguise, says things aren't as bad as they could be, right? He is met by his father, who is blinded. And remember, if you go back a few scenes, he was experiencing his own grief because he was suffering alone, disguised as poor Tom. And as he was experiencing his own pain, his own grief, he felt like he was alone. But now that his father is blinded, he doesn't know what. There's something he doesn't know, because although he is blinded, and we talked about the symbolism of sight, right? If we go back to this slide here, the sight, although he is physically blinded, what is he now not blind to? He can see the maliciousness and the manipulation between some of these characters. Who is not malicious? Who is not evil in this scene? He leads his father up to this cliff, okay? And in this scene, it's kind of interesting because Gloucester gets a new perspective on life. And he leads him to this cliff so he is able to jump off and end his life, which is a little depressing because both of his eyes were just plucked out and stomped on. What a depressing way to end Act 3, right? We talked about in Act 3 of a Shakespearean play, typically this is the climactic point of the play, right? So if he feels like there's nothing to live for, I have no reason to live, I might as well jump off this cliff. Well, Edgar is there to guide him and to lead him away from this cliff. And we'll kind of see what happens here in Act 4, Scene 2. But I want you to think about that definition of dramatic irony a little bit. As the audience, we are understanding something in this situation where the characters are unaware of what is happening. Think about that